Hello and welcome to another episode of Murder Dictionary Podcast. My name is Brianna and over there is Kelly.
Hey, 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 hey. True crime every day.
I totally have been speaking in Nate Dogg voice too. Ever since the song played.
Good call on McDonald's for lunch.
Yeah, let's eat.
Okay, we have the oh yeah for me.
Can you hand me my
Yep, and here are a couple of woot-woots to share.
I love my woohoo!
Oh, sounds like Stacy went to McDonald's too.
For a limited time, grab a hot and spicy McChicken and small fries for just $3 at McDonald's. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with combo meal.
Do you ever do that? Your inner monologue just turns to a different voice?
Yeah, it's usually Eric Cartman.
Really?
Yeah.
Mike Tyson.
That's so much better.
So before we get started, we wanted to remind you guys to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if you haven't followed us on there. And definitely shout us out to your friends. We would appreciate that as well. Send us memes. Send us some headlines from Florida because we love the shit out of those. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't left us a review, we would appreciate if you would review us on iTunes. We thank everybody that leaves iTunes reviews at the end of the show, so we would love the opportunity to say thank you. So listen if you already left one, and if you haven't, we would appreciate if you reviewed us.
Yeah, it really helps, so thank you.
Thank you. The description and show notes for each episode will always have links to my research materials. So anything that I use to research the stories, you can follow up there if you want more info, as well as links to our Patreon and to resources for domestic violence victims, suicide hotlines, child protective services, mental health resources, etc. There's a bunch of links on there. So if you need any help, just check those out. And then last thing before we get started, we wanted to remind you guys that we sent out Patreon merch. So if you have been supporting us on Patreon, we sent those out. We've got one wave that already went out and then another one that's going out this week. Cool. So be on the lookout for those. And because we were a little bit delayed in getting the Patreon merch out to you, I did kind of double up some of the stuff.
Oh, shit.
So there's a little bit more than what was described on the Patreon. So I hope that that makes up for it. I know it was kind of lagging. We have a few new Patreon supporters this week that we wanted to say thank you to. Corey, Susan, and Catherine are all new Patreon supporters. So thank you, you guys. We appreciate that very much. And actually, I know who Catherine is. Catherine is actually the host of But Why Though?
What?
Have you heard that podcast?
I haven't listened to it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, they're really awesome. So they explore different subjects each week and ask why they kind of culturally matter. Mm-hmm. It's really cool. One of their first episodes that I listened to was a Quentin Tarantino one.
What?
Yeah,
okay.
It was awesome. So Catherine is super rad. And yeah, I've been talking to her a little bit. So definitely check out their show.
Will do.
They are badass.
Thank you. So cool.
So thanks, you guys. We appreciate your Patreon support from Corey, Susan, and Catherine. And I think that's enough of the biz nasty. We can get down to the story.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yep.
I don't think you're ready.
For the jelly?
All right, you are ready. All right, so I looked around a little bit more for some statistics, psychology, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, it is really hard to find stuff about occult murders. Everything is either, it goes two ways. It's wildly exaggerated or it's a flat out lie. And it's an excuse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of pages that'll direct you to like Christian sites that are just like, everything's satanic and everyone's trying to kill your kids. Like, it's so nuts. And then there's some that are just, oh, this satanic defense turned out not to be real, you know? So I haven't had much luck. All I did was put together the story. But if any of our listeners have some input, some statistics, something they've found to send our way, we are so open to that because I am not having any luck. You know, I like to do the statistics and the psychology. I think that that's one of the aspects that's really, really interesting to me.
Yeah.
But this is just not working out for this subject. But
Meh.
meh.
You want me to make up statistics?
Right? Yes.
17% of the country has one
Is
of those
sacrificing all your children.
in that stick cauldron.
Exactly.
I saw that picture. It was fucking terrifying.
Isn't it?
Straight out of True Detective.
Yeah.
Straight out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. With the stick dolls and everything.
Ugh.
Very scary.
So bad.
I know. But yeah, I mean, I find some stories in individual cases, but nothing that's a general overview. So we're open to input if anybody has it. Today, I just kind of have a story to tell you.
I love stories.
So this one is the story of the Helzer Brothers.
I love brothers.
Yeah, you do. So Taylor and Justin Helzer grew up in a devout Mormon household in a small suburb an hour outside of San Francisco. The Helzer family had a long history of mental health issues, and several of their relatives had been admitted to psych wards. Starting out with a strong foundation.
Yeah.
However, Taylor and Justin's family believed that religion was a solution to every problem.
It is.
Oh, thanks. I didn't know that. I've been really struggling.
You got a pimple? Rub a Bible on it.
Beyond that, they also believed in spiritual visions or hearing voices. So to them, that wasn't mental illness. That was just being really religious.
Damn.
The more you know. When a family member would say that they saw or talked to Jesus, it was believed to be a blessing.
And that's just them hearing voices and being schizophrenic, right?
Either that or making it up. Because I think at some point it's like, okay, your aunt hears voices and she's given all this attention. And then your dad hears voices and says that he talked to Jesus. Then he has this attention. And then eventually other people that see that, then a cousin comes out and says, hey, I talked to Jesus too on my Jesus phone.
Why aren't you talking to Jesus?
Right?
So, yeah,
What's wrong with you?
Odd man out. So yeah, I guess I would lie too.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, there's no way of tracking that. Another thing that's just kind of like, you can't track a lot of these occult murders and religious things because they're not facts, they're not provable, it's not science. So I don't know if everybody was mentally ill or certain people were making it up. I'm sure it's just a combination of all of it.
It's a hybrid.
Their grandfather preached scripture to the whole family every night and claimed that Jesus had visited him and spoke to him. The oldest son, Taylor, was close to his grandfather and obsessively followed the Book of Mormon, starting as a young child. This is the best time to get into religion.
Child.
When you're a tiny kid and everything's terrifying.
You have a picture book of like the Book of Mormon? Yeah. Pop up.
His classmates liked Taylor, and he was popular because he was friendly and outgoing. He talked about Mormonism a lot, and people often found it annoying, but he kind of got away with being a little preachy because he was so likable.
Abs like Jesus too? Maybe?
I hope so. Got them Jesus on the cross abs, the real core workout.
Like 2% body fat.
I feel like we need Mormons on our PR team because they really know about marketing.
Yeah. Jehovah's Witness too, right?
Yeah, right? Spreading the word.
Door to door.
Tagging everybody on Facebook. Younger brother Justin was more introverted and quiet. He played sports in school, but was less social than his brother. Justin was also a devout Mormon who chose to be a youth leader at their church. Their mother, Karma Helzer, believed Taylor was special. Same thing as last episode.
Wait, his mom.
Don't ever tell your kids they're special. Parenting tip.
Is his mom's name Karma?
Yes.
Cool.
She thought that he was a prophet of God and treated him as such. Their father and grandfather stood by Karma's belief, so his siblings were also taught that Taylor was special and that he should be the leader. Which is also really great for your other kids.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
So what the fuck? Justin and Taylor were best friends, but Justin was always in his brother's shadow. Justin was taught to follow his brother and defer to his lead in all important decisions. Taylor encouraged this belief and often said, I'm number one and you're number two. Fucked up.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Later on in life, they would even use number one and number two as nicknames for each other. At 14, Taylor began hearing voices, and the Helzers believed that this was evidence that Taylor was special and confirmed their stance that Taylor was a prophet. After he began having these visions, he became the spiritual leader of the family. His parents and grandfather started deferring to the 14-year-old for family decisions and spiritual guidance. That would have got me into so much trouble. You're going to defer to me on that?
We're having pizza every night.
Pizza and weed. Breakfast of champions. Just pack this bowl, Mom.
We do what I say because I'm chosen.
Seriously.
That's insane. A 14-year-old?
Yes. By all accounts from family and friends, they just kind of always look to him on any decision. It's not even like, you know how parents discuss certain things like disciplining their child? No, everything went through him, it sounded like.
Hey, Justin, do you think we should refinance our home? How do you feel about this? How should I do my taxes?
Right?
The fuck?
When Taylor finished high school, he went into the National Guard, but he didn't stay long. In the Mormon church, it is expected that boys do 2 years of missionary work at age 19. Taylor was assigned to Brazil and set out to spread his religion through the impoverished communities and convert people to his religion. They got them Brazilian asses. I am not learning about religion in Brazil.
No.
I'm getting it in.
Yeah. I'm wearing a slingshot bathing suit.
Exactly.
And staring at plastic surgery and asses all day.
The fucked up thing is that Taylor's brother Justin got sent to Texas for missionary work.
Oh,
So fucking Taylor went to Brazil, just ass for days.
Oh, no.
And poor little number 2 just went to hot ass Texas.
Number 2 is going to murder number 1.
Right. People in Brazil loved Taylor because he was so positive, outgoing, and personable. He began setting records in his missionary group for converting so many people to Mormonism. This was the first taste for Taylor to feel the power of truly leading a group of people and being idolized by them. Like he didn't have that in his family enough, you know,
Exactly.
like just pushed it into overdrive. All the attention and being idolized went to his head, and he began also internalizing the belief that he was a prophet of God. Part of the way through his 2-year mission, his views began to become more extreme. He believed that the second coming of Jesus was imminently approaching, and he believed that he was the only one trying to prepare for it. He thought he could communicate directly with God, so he began getting combative with the bishop and other church leaders. By the time he left Brazil, his focus had shifted. When he arrived, his goal was spreading the word of God. But as he left, he was preaching about the perils of moral decay and preparing for the apocalypse.
Doesn't sound so positive anymore.
Right? I don't know. I find that about a lot of religion. It's just switched to this very negative, kind of scary, imminent doom.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, it'd be cool if like the returning of Christ was like Uber, where they let you know how long it's going to be.
A little countdown.
7
You
minutes.
can see the car getting closer. Yeah,
Yeah.
we need that.
Your God, Jesus, is 7 minutes away.
And you see a picture of their Prius. He's got just the robes on, just standing in front of his blue Prius.
Only a 4.2 rating. That's weird.
Wow, Jesus, step it up. Offer some water or something. We need gum, you know?
Jesus didn't have a phone charger for my iPhone.
When he returned home in November of 1991, Taylor became a stockbroker. And when Justin got home, he became a cable installer. Their mother suggested that Taylor attend a self-improvement workshop called Harmony Impact Training. Already sounds fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm
no.
out.
Yeah.
Harmony is a self-empowerment retreat designed to help you overcome limitations and negative feelings. I mean, I think we need negative feelings. They tell me when to run from murders.
Yeah.
Harmony Impact Training advertises itself by saying, our mission is to empower the human spirit towards free, unconditional loving, and harmonious living.
Pray the gay way? Is that
Something like that.
like that,
Yeah. I feel like they just mashed a bunch of positive words together and
Yeah.
we're like, this is good, right? But it doesn't fully make sense.
This'll sell. And then you get there and
This is hippie enough.
it's boot camp right when you get there.
You're just cleaning the floor with a toothbrush and peeling potatoes with your teeth.
But because Jesus said so.
Right?
Okay?
During training, the group spends days together in a room without windows, confronting their inner demons. A harmony facilitator leads the sessions and often forcefully pushes people emotionally to the point where they often cry or leave the room. One of the core principles taught in Harmony Impact training is the notion that there is no right and there is no wrong. This is similar to the last week again. Yep. Mm-hmm. Basically, don't tell people that there's no right and wrong because people will do wrong.
Yeah.
That seems like a really bad message.
Wrong is way more fun. Why would you not steal some candy? Why would you not do it? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the moral compass guiding you that's saying there's simply a right and a wrong is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's terrible when religion uses it against you, but you kind of need a little bit of a gauge that there's two different sides to the coin.
Yeah.
You know?
Do I want to wear a condom or raw dog? Don't give me that choice.
I'll keep that in mind. Taylor explained later that, quote, the majority of society is stuck in this primitive belief system that there is right and wrong or good and evil.
I wonder if Mormons actually do they believe that? I thought they have a wrong.
This harmony training is definitely separate from Mormonism.
Okay.
It isn't affiliated with the church. It's pretty much a self-help thing.
Okay. All right.
That's non-religious, I guess, by nature. I don't know enough about Mormonism, to be honest. All I know is what Matt and Trey said.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just not the expert. I think that, to be perfectly frank with you, I don't even like looking into these religious cases because it's kind of depressing.
Oh, yeah.
You know? For me personally, I'm just like, no, thank you. Mm-mm. So I could have looked into it and been like, so what's Mormonism all about? But I'm like, no.
Just refer to that South Park episode.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Dum.
Harmony, by contrast, focuses on results instead of the process of getting there. After completing Harmony training, Taylor believed that right and wrong can only be judged by its fruit. He would base his actions on asking himself, does it bear good fruit? Or in other words, get the best results. Instead of asking himself, is this the right or wrong thing to do? By this philosophy, if he could carry out the will of God and defeat Satan by any means necessary, then it would have been good fruit and ultimately would be the right thing to do. After this retreat, he stopped trying to spread the word of Mormonism and convert people. Instead, he began telling people about Harmony Impact training and his new results-based belief system. A cousin noticed that around this time, he developed a concrete expectation that everyone around him would always accept his ideas and be easily persuaded by him. He also became slightly more pushy and aggressive with preaching his beliefs. Taylor even became easily agitated when people questioned him or didn't easily believe in his preachings. Taylor also began shushing people while they were talking so he could hear God speak.
Shush!
That's one of the biggest dick moves of all time. Who the fuck does that?
The guy in Encino Man.
Well, he can get away with it.
And librarians.
Yeah. They're the only ones.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. Can you imagine? I would just clock someone.
Yeah.
Like if they shush me, I will punch you in your throat.
Don't ever shush me.
It's such a simple act that's so extremely rude.
Yeah.
It's so extra.
Ooh, unless they put their finger against my lips to shush me.
Oh, then that's just hot.
Yeah,
then
that's
they're
pretty
just
good.
fucking that sexy librarian.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He also would use the phrase "Spirit says" to begin many sentences, and then proceed to tell listeners what God had told him. Taylor still had his core kindness and charm, but he began using this to manipulate people and get what he wanted. In spring of 1993, he got married, and the couple had 2 daughters together. Taylor's new father-in-law got him a job in financial planning. Being a financial advisor was boring to him, though, and he really wanted to make a difference using his religion instead of a boring desk job. Don't we all, girl?
Don't you think... I bet you his kids' names were Spirit and Harmony.
Right?
Has to be.
This story is just so full of the lamest fucking names in the history of ever. It'll keep going.
Woo.
But I don't know. Why do things like that always sound so boring?
Yeah, we started off with a karma. You gotta remember that.
It all sounds like it's supposed to be in like a 90s informational video or something. I don't like it. He wanted to quit his job and leave his family, but his wife pleaded with him to go to couples therapy instead. He attended a few sessions, but gave up on therapy and returned to harmony training. I love when people try and solve their problems this way. Like, let's do more religion, more creepy self-improvement training.
I thought you meant
just
counseling.
Go to therapy.
Yeah, I was like, counseling's great. What do you mean weird things? But
No. He stopped going to
Yeah.
counseling and was like, no, fuck it. I'm going back to Harmony Impact training.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. In 1996, he left his wife and kids, then moved in with his brother. His wife, Anne, said that he wanted to expand his life outside the church and wanted to live a normal life without the strict confines of his religion. Anne says he began to drink more, wear all black, and shower less often. Why you gotta bring black into this?
Yeah,
I wear all black all the time.
Yeah,
I'm pretty high functioning, kind of, sometimes. Once a week.
occasionally. Like today.
He soon began using drugs and having casual sex.
Woo!
Good times, bro. High five. His friends and family were shocked because he had always preached against these activities. So basically, you came to your senses.
Yeah.
His family became worried, and his sister Heather wrote to the church, which led him to being excommunicated, but he didn't care.
I thought you were going to say executed. Damn.
Ever get so mad you write a letter about it? Well, Heather did. By spring of 1998, his prophetic visions became more intense, and he began believing that he was the chosen one to usher in the second coming of Jesus. He figured that he needed money to make his plans happen, so he decided to start an escort service. I want you to guess the business name. It's going to be fun. Think of the lamest, 90th VHS tape kind of name you could think of for an escort service.
Grungy Bush.
That's a good one. He should have called it that.
Spirit in your pants.
Exactly. The butthole doesn't count.com.
Harmony.
Harboni. Hose for halos.
Holy Esprit.
So Taylor decided to name his escort service Intimacy.
What?
Intimacy. Barf.
Where's that barf cauldron?
We need it. We need you now, Barf Cauldron,
intimacy.
more than ever.
I don't like
So
it.
gross, right?
Yeah.
Ew. No, dude.
It's like romance. I don't.
Right?
Intimacy.
Lover.
It's like a fragrance.
Yes.
Intimacy by Taylor. Stupid.
At a local restaurant, he met Carrie Furman, who was a 21-year-old fresh-faced blonde that he believed had the potential to work for him. Carrie was just coming out of an abusive relationship and was really charmed by how sweet and well-mannered Taylor was. He was working as a stockbroker and was dressed in a suit most of the time, so she also believed that he was stable and responsible.
Never judge a book.
Right? Carrie says their relationship was very sweet in the beginning, and they took their time to get to know each other without rushing into commitment or having sex. Well, yeah, he owns a business called Intimacy.
I was gonna say, yeah.
She recalls the first time they had sex, he cried and said that she was helping him get through some of his issues.
Run.
Disgusting.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He cried.
Yes. Run for the hills. like, I don't want to shame people that may have certain sexual whatevers.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's you, do you, but that freaks me out a bit.
The crying, right? Yeah.
It really freaks me out.
You only cry if you found the condom busted, you know? He's like, oh my God, 18 years. That's like, that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gnarly.
I hope she laughed. No, she probably liked it. I was like, that's so sweet.
It's like, oh, he's just like really quiet and
Aw,
sweet.
she's probably one of a kind and not a bitchy girl like me. So.
No, she actually does seem really sweet and nice. And I watched an interview with her and she seems like a nice lady. But if that were me, there's no way I would be like, yeah, I'll see you for another date.
I'd be jerking off getting my nut in the corner.
Right? Like, all right, you keep crying.
Yeah.
Let me just scoop those up and jerk with them.
Are you done yet? Oh my God.
Yeah. Creepy. I don't know why that creeps me out so fucking much.
It really does, because then it's I get that there's like passion and stuff like that, but if my pussy is fixing your problems, which I already know it does, but to the point of tears, like what happens if I'm not there? What if it happens when I want to leave or something? You are going to get crazy.
Yes. It's just a sign that something bad is going to happen, that you're just going to be way too emotional to handle some normal relationship shit.
Yeah.
You know, if you felt that good about my pussy, just give me a high five.
Yeah.
You know, wink at me, give some finger guns or something. We good.
I'll take a medal. I'll
Right?
get a medal, yeah.
Little sash, bouquet, and I'll just wave to you.
Oh my God.
Carrie says that Taylor was unconditionally loving, caring, affectionate, and very vulnerable with her. The couple began going to raves together and experimenting with drugs.
1998.
Right? It's the best time. Taylor was still always going on and on about Harmony Impact training and would often convince people to go. One day, Taylor and Carrie were giving a friend a ride to Harmony Impact training, and when they arrived, Taylor informed Carrie that she would be attending the retreat as well. I think they call that kidnapping.
Yeah. Fine.
Carrie did not really want to go, but Taylor had packed a bag for her and convinced her that she had to attend the retreat.
He's like, we're going to Cancun. And then you get there.
All you have is bathing suits, but you're just sitting crying in a dark room. Carrie felt that she was brainwashed by Taylor because he was so good at convincing anyone to follow him. She believes that Taylor had her go to the retreat so she could be stripped of her beliefs and let down her walls, which would make her easier for him to control. Shortly after the retreat, he convinced Carrie to get breast implants, which is part of his plan to make her a lucrative sex worker.
I mean, but did he pay for them or?
No. To pay for the implants, he also made Carrie start stripping. Yeah.
I hope she gets her titties and pays for them
Makes
on
a
her
shit
own.
ton of money.
Opens her own fucking escort business and runs shit like what's the
Invests
madam?
it, buy some property,
Yeah.
buys her own strip club, something. I know. Taylor planned to support himself by getting on disability. He asked Carrie to help him fake a mental breakdown so he could begin collecting disability benefits. She began telling his employer and doctor that she was concerned about him, and then facilitated an appointment for psychiatric evaluation. Before Taylor had his psych eval, he put peanut butter in his hair, then drank and took drugs so he would appear more unstable and less mentally well than he actually was.
But he smells delicious.
The plan worked, and he began collecting disability. With his disability checks, Taylor would buy sizable quantities of ecstasy, then sell the pills individually for profit. When they began dealing ecstasy, the couple also began using coke and meth. Every time I see or hear the word meth, I hear methamphetamine in Dangle's voice from
Yes.
Reno 911.
Yes.
Like every single time without fail. That's
it.
my inner
Say it.
monologue. Methamphetamine. I love Dangle so much.
Holy shit.
In Taylor's cycle of always trying to find new ways to make money, he came up with the idea to submit Carrie's pictures to Playboy. Taylor also asked Carrie to help him recruit girls to work for him from the strip club she worked at. But Carrie had only took the job so she could pay for her implants, and once they were paid off, she really didn't want to dance anymore. Taylor insisted that Carrie help him by finding recruits and being present when he spoke to them, so it would make the girls feel more comfortable. Carrie desperately wanted out of the relationship and her job, so she began abusing drugs. She says her excessive drug use was because she was suicidal, and she was hoping that the drugs would kill her.
I find it really sad, and he needs her more than she needs him, and she does not see that. She could be, again, starting her own business.
Right, working for herself, not having to answer to him or anything.
At all. She's just the middleman. He needs her to go get girls. He needs her to go work at the club. Her. He does nothing. He's a fucking lazy piece of shit. I can't believe that he was a stockbroker.
Right?
Or a financial advisor, a very, respected position, and you have the skills. You're just lazy.
Yes.
And you just want things
some would
easy.
argue that those positions are kind of crooks anyway.
Oh, absolutely. You're managing other people's money. It depends. Any job could be a crook,
If you just do it as a crook, you are a crook.
Yeah. If a crook goes into that business, it's going to be crooked, you know? So.
Yeah. It's just a bummer. I wish she felt more empowered to just make the money for herself and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go buy your own drugs and go fucking take your own trip and get fucked up, dude. Just have your own stripper fun. It'd be so good. We see strippers having so much fun. It's the ones with pimps that don't fucking...
Yeah, they look so sad.
They look
But the girls working for themselves are about that life.
Dude, they got their nails done. Right. They got fucking the best makeup. They always smell like weed. So
they do.
They look happy,
Taylor saw that Carrie was in trouble and was concerned for her safety. She had stopped eating and would rarely get out of bed. Carrie was clearly in danger, and Taylor was terrified that she would succumb to her drug addiction. He suggested that it might be good for Carrie to go home and visit her family, and she took this as an opportunity to escape. High five, Carrie.
Yeah.
She packed her bags and immediately left. Right after she left, she got a call from Playboy asking to be their September centerfold.
That a girl.
Yep.
Good for you.
Taylor was livid when he learned about this and felt it was unfair for Carrie to benefit from his idea. But she was no longer around for him to take his anger out on her.
Oh, he invented Playboy?
Right? You never invented titties, Taylor.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Oh, my God.
Soon after the breakup, the Helzer Brothers met Don Godman at a murder mystery dinner held at the Oakland Mormon Temple on Memorial Day, 1999.
We need to get into that? Did we?
I know, right? We like murders and mysteries.
And dinner.
What's up, Jesus people? Dawn was vulnerable and going through a troubled time in her life. She was raised in a Christian home in an extremely small town. She was introverted and described as a loner in high school. She got pregnant and married in her teens. Her first son had tragically died soon after his birth. She had a second son, but her marriage crumbled and the couple got a divorce. She became depressed and began questioning her faith, so she started drinking and using drugs. Dawn attempted suicide by overdosing on pills and ended up living in her car. After this, her ex-husband took her to court and was granted full custody. A family member offered to let Dawn stay with them, and she got a job at the grocery store. Dawn was at rock bottom when someone suggested Mormonism to her, and she decided to try it out. I feel like Mormonism is not something you could just dip your toe in.
No, and you know how pissed I would be if I was venting about my problems. Right? And like, you know what you need?
If you ever suggest that to me, I would be so livid.
I would fucking punch myself.
Just be like, I've got this going on and that going on. Everything's fucked up. My life's falling apart. Have you tried Jesus?
Yeah, come on. I'll take it to this group. How do you feel about Harmony? That ain't a real friend. You're
right?
A real friend
No.
if you recommend that.
Mm-mm. When Dawn met the Helzer Brothers at the murder mystery dinner, she had recently converted, and she had a lot of trust in anyone who had been a longtime member of the LDS Church.
I'm so sorry, but that happened to me when I was crying in the airport at Fort Lauderdale. And they were
Are you
like,
serious?
yeah, dude, I told you that lady tried to convert me. In Fort Lauderdale airport, I was crying my eyes out because I was stuck there for 2 days. I just slept in the airport. And she's like, have you heard about our Lord and Savior Jesus? And I was like, no, but I got time to kill before this flight, so proceed. And then like she's talking to me, and then the guy next to me was like, amen, sister, amen. And then she held my hand and she's like, you want to get saved? And I had nothing better to do. And what else? I mean, my luck was already shit. I was sleeping on the floor. So technically I got saved or something. So yeah, actually I didn't punch that lady. I went with it. I just rolled with it.
Just because it was interesting and something to do.
I had nothing else to do. There was
I feel like it's been a long time since I talked to a human.
I had no money and I was sitting in front of a Dunkin' Donuts. How miserable could you be?
That's a great time for Jesus. That's Jesus's shining hour.
Yeah, sorry. So proceed.
Wow.
Yeah. But I was clearly broken down crying. Like, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, this person's perfect.
Is he going to be on my flight? Is Jesus going to be on my flight? Tell me about him.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry. Continue.
Wow. Dawn considered Taylor to be a good Mormon man and was attracted to him right away. Dawn later said, he made you feel like you were the most important person in the world.
He has no extracurricular activities in his life.
Right. He's got nothing to do.
Don't you go to work? No, girl, I'm all yours 24/7. What do you want to do today? You want to shower together? You want to eat together? So needy.
Yes.
Fuck that.
Taylor was charming and charismatic as always, and Dawn was super excited that they were hitting it off right away. I read a bunch of articles about this story and I watched some documentaries, and it really grinds my gears when people are basically like, this heavyset girl gets the attention of a dude and she just immediately gravitates to him because she's lucky to have the attention or whatever.
Yeah.
It drives me absolutely crazy. And that's what everyone was saying about Dawn.
Because she was a heavier set woman.
Yeah, just like, oh, well, she was
should
a
be
little
lucky.
homely and whatever. So she completely was super vulnerable and susceptible to someone attractive being like, oh, hey, let me give you some attention and tell you about Jesus. And she's like, I'm on board because nobody hot talks to me. Like, how fucked up is that?
But was it true? No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Because that shit does happen. Girls who don't get attention sometimes do. Will
I mean,
take
I think
anything.
that like Charles Manson preyed on girls like
vulnerable.
that. Yeah. I believe that it's accurate that people target someone like that. It's just a shitty thing.
Yeah, it
you know,
sucks.
like, I just wish that they didn't talk about it like that.
There's more in the case to be talking about.
Than talking about her body and how
Exactly.
attractive she is.
Yeah.
You know? Ugh. It just puts a really bad taste in my mouth.
That sucks.
Especially when it's just some overweight fucking Dunkin' Donut ass cop talking about it like, this bitch was lucky to have his attention. Just like, ew, dude. No, you have no right to talk like that. Fucking no. Stop
I know
it.
thick girls that have more confidence.
Girl, you know. Thickness knows how to work a day.
Exactly. For real.
It just does not seem right for people to talk about women like that. Anyway,
Except for us. We could do that.
it just, I don't know. It just makes me really upset. It's just the opposite is true. It's like, you know, if someone was too skinny, it would be like, oh, well, he just knew that she was anorexic and so he preyed on her and blah, blah, blah. Just stop talking about women's bodies. It's not a fucking factor.
Well,
like,
same
leave
thing,
it alone.
Yeah. With like an older man and a younger girl, even.
Right.
There's just, you know.
But it's always the women. Like, no one's like, hey, so this fat dude, you know, like no one says that.
That's true.
Anyway, it just was really annoying to hear some unfuckable man talk about her body.
Yeah.
Dawn started hanging out with the Helzer brothers, and although she began dating Justin, it seemed that she was extremely enamored with his older brother. Taylor suggested that Dawn complete Harmony Impact training, which she did because she was eager to take any suggestions from any devout long-term Mormon. When she completed training and came home, he told her that she needed to let go of her custody battle and just move on with her life. She invited Dawn to move in with Taylor and Justin. The trio rented a 3-bedroom house in Concord, California, and Taylor began overseeing control of the household, just like he did with his family. After she completed the second and third level of harmony, Taylor informed her that he would be taking over her lessons and providing spiritual guidance for her. One day, Taylor took Dawn to the parking lot of a Mormon temple so he could have a serious talk with her. He said their conversation had to take place at the temple because on those sacred grounds were the only place that Satan couldn't hear them. Yeah. He said the temple was surrounded and protected by the angels that guarded the church, so Satan wouldn't hear their conversation.
So the angels did earmuffs?
Right? Little ears. He said to her, "Spirit's telling me it's time you get to know everything." Taylor informed Dawn that he was a prophet of God who was chosen to save the world. He said that he planned to defeat Satan by starting a self-help group and revealed that his destined path was to assassinate the Mormon leaders and take over the church. Tight. Oh, that face.
I'm so confused. He's all about beating Satan.
Yeah.
How are you going to beat Satan as
But
the
he's
top?
the only one that could do it, and all the current Mormon leaders are not capable, so he has to overthrow them, basically. Taylor explained his scheme to extort money from an old client and kill them to obtain startup money for his self-help group. He asked Dawn if she was willing to kill in God's name, and she responded that she would consider it a blessing. Ugh. Because she was new to the Mormon faith and Taylor was so knowledgeable, he often used scripture to explain his beliefs and delusions to Dawn. Both Dawn and Justin bought into Taylor's belief that he was a prophet chosen to save humanity from moral decay. Now that he had 2 followers, he decided to name them the Children of Thunder, which was taken from a biblical story about how Jesus called the brothers John and James the Sons of Thunder. Also sounds like a metal band.
I just it sounds like farts. Thunder reminds me of farts, I guess.
Ooh.
God's farts.
He called his new self-help group Impact America and developed a list of maxims that he called the 12 Principles of Magic.
It's better than intimacy.
He just needs to have his rights to be naming things taken away from him.
Not allowed. Revoked.
Too lame. He demanded that Justin and Dawn memorize all 12. Among these principles were, I am already perfect and therefore can do nothing wrong, as well as, I gain control by losing control.
I kind of like these.
He informed Justin and Dawn that if followers were not loyal to him, then he would have to kill them.
I'm sorry, what was the last one?
Maybe I didn't hear you right. Taylor was about to turn 30 at the end of July in 2000, and he believed that this was a significant milestone because Jesus had begun to preach at 30, and Joseph Smith founded the first Mormon temple at 30. Taylor decided that the first Sunday after his 30th birthday was the time to start carrying out some big plans. At first, he talked about a plot to train Brazilian orphans to assassinate leaders of the Mormon Church so he could become its leader and transform America by bringing joy, peace, and love.
Yeah, good luck training kids to do anything.
Right? He still needed money to carry out any of his plans, so he came up with another scheme to import underage girls from Brazil and have them seduce married businessmen. Then the trio would blackmail the businessmen into giving them money to keep the news quiet.
Solid plan. The government does this all the time, but with underage boys, okay?
Sounds like Scientology, too.
Exactly.
But I think he's pretty obsessed with underage Brazilians.
Who isn't? Jesus.
Me and you both. But he soon scrapped that plan and went back to his idea of extorting money from his old clients. Taylor asked Justin to get a 9mm Beretta, and Dawn was asked to get ski masks, a taser, and handcuffs from a sex shop. If you're getting them anywhere else, you're fucking up.
A taser?
Mm-hmm.
We're fucking up. We don't sell that shit.
Taylor adopted Rottweilers from the pound, believing that they could help him get rid of bodies. He then began looking around local clubs to find a woman to help him launder some money.
Why didn't he get pigs? Rottweilers ain't gonna do shit.
Amateur.
Yeah, oh my God.
He met a woman named Selena Bishop at a bar and told her his name was Jordan Taylor. The 22-year-old Selena was quickly charmed by the older, handsome stranger, and they exchanged numbers. Selena had spent 2 years at an art school in Pennsylvania before moving back to Northern California, where she got a job waitressing at a local diner. The two began dating, and Selena was excited to tell her coworkers about the new man in her life, but they did not rush into a serious relationship. I like to imagine that this pissed Dawn off a lot. Even though she was still dating Justin, I just figure she would be listening to 90s R&B and just really feeling it, you know? Karaokeing That Boy Is Mine or something. Soon, Taylor asked Selena to open a bank account for him in her name. He explained to her that he had an inheritance coming that he needed to hide from his ex-wife.
I don't want no scrub. I can't get no love from me.
Exactly.
And no bank account. Get the fuck out of here with that. That shit.
No, you can't get my routing number.
No, absolutely not. Fucking red flag.
Yeah. They're like just casually dating. And he's like, yo, could you open a bank account for me? Sure, babe. No problem.
Like a joint bank account? No. Just my bank account. You can't touch it. It's your social, but... Stupid.
Wow. Yeah.
We're fucking up life, man. We need to really just hit some bars.
Right? She opened the account and Taylor was ready to move on the next part of his plan. On July 30th, the first Sunday after Taylor's 30th birthday, the children of Thunder woke up and prayed to declare war on Satan.
Children of Thunder, gonna go to war.
You can see like American flags in the background. There's like eagles. Yeah.
Just crosses.
Yes.
Like on the chest of the eagles.
They're wearing a lot of like affliction, some bedazzled jeans. That afternoon, they knocked on the door of elderly couple Ivan and Annette Steinman, who Taylor had worked for while he was employed as a financial planner. Because the couple knew Taylor and were so friendly with him outside of working together, they invited the brothers into their home. Once inside, the brothers let Dawn in, then they forced Ivan and Annette to make out 2 checks to Taylor's girlfriend Selena, totaling $100,000. The trio then convinced the couple to take sedatives to calm them down, at which point they tried to kill them using blunt force trauma. When the head injuries did not yield the desired results, they killed the couple with knives instead.
Wouldn't it be cool? I mean, in case I ever get robbed, I don't use checks, but to have one of those pens with like disappearing ink. So like, right after you write the check. For you.
After the murder, Taylor reminded his followers that they had committed a righteous act that was intended to ultimately make the world better and more moral place. The trio then said a prayer above the deceased bodies, thanking them for sacrificing their lives to achieve a greater good.
Money?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Taylor and Justin dismembered the bodies with a power saw. At first, they attempted to feed the body parts to their Rottweilers, but the dogs would not eat them. They moved on to Plan B and loaded the body parts into duffel bags with rocks and stepping stones to weigh them down. The next day, Taylor instructed Dawn to dress up in a disguise and go to the bank with the checks. He believed that if her disguise looked a bit odd, people would remember what she was wearing instead of what her features looked like. He had Dawn wear a lime green sweatsuit, a cowboy hat, and had her use a wheelchair. When she walked into the bank, it immediately seemed odd to the branch manager. Dawn was dressed too warmly for the day, and it was immediately suspected that she was in a disguise. Dawn asked for the checks to be deposited in Selena's account for emergency heart surgery and said that Selena was unable to come in herself because she was in the hospital. She also informed the manager that the check was from Selena's grandparents. The bank manager insisted that the bank get confirmation from the Steinmans, so she called their house. The answering machine picked up, of course, so Dawn had no choice but to leave without being able to deposit the checks. All that for nothing.
That's fucking crazy.
So sad. That night, Taylor invited Selena over to his house. As they were hanging out, he offered to give her a back massage. But once he was behind her, he instead hit her over the head repeatedly with a hammer. Selena was still alive after multiple head wounds, so he grabbed her by the hair, pulled her head up, and slit her throat with a knife. Once she was dead, they began dismembering her body with a power saw, like the Steinmans. At one point, Taylor sawed off the tattoo from Selena's shoulder and threw it to his Rottweilers for them to eat. Later that night, Taylor and Justin were filmed crossing a bridge over the San Joaquin River. Their truck was towing a trailer with jet skis on it. The brothers rowed out to the middle of the lake and dumped the duffel bags in the water. On Sunday, August 6th, the Steinmans' van was found dumped in an industrial neighborhood in Oakland. A chainsaw and a sawhorse were found inside, and police lifted fingerprints from the vehicle. Later that day, Taylor hired a professional carpet cleaner to clean the stain in his living room. As the carpet cleaner tried to get the large red stain out of the carpet, Justin and Dawn told him that the stain was from spilled Kool-Aid.
Wine. Say wine.
You're grown-ups. After Selena was dead, Taylor remembered that he had also met her mother, Jennifer Villerin. He was concerned that if police were looking for leads, she might tell them that Selena was dating a new man. So he went over to her mother's house in the middle of the night. He dressed like Neo from The Matrix with his hair slicked back, a long black jacket, and 2 guns. He entered Jennifer's house and went to the bedroom, but he was surprised that there were 2 people instead of 1. Jennifer's boyfriend, Jim Gamble, was also sleeping in the bed with her, so he shot them both with double guns drawn like The Matrix. Taylor then fled the scene in a getaway car driven by Dawn. Neighbors heard the shots on their typically quiet street, so they called 911, and the police arrived shortly after the murders. Detectives needed to notify the next of kin and see if Selena knew who would want to do this to her mother, but she was nowhere to be found. I think it's good that it happened in a neighborhood where people called the cops. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to track them down so quickly because they were able to look for Selena and then kind of trace things back. If no one called in, that just wouldn't have happened, you know?
Yeah.
They would have continued to try and get money by killing more people.
Another person, yeah.
Yeah. At the same time detectives were looking for Selena, Ivan and Annette's daughters notified the police that her parents were missing. After a few days, enough people were questioned that they were able to piece together that Selena was dating a new man named Jordan, who lived in Concord with his brother. They also got the records from her pager and found that Selena had 2 numbers from a person with the last name Helzer in her history.
Burn.
Right? Police believed this might be the brothers they were looking for, so they set out to find the Helzer brothers. On August 7th, 2000, police from 2 counties descended upon the Children of Thunder's house with a search warrant. When the officers searched the house, they found shrooms, and drug paraphernalia, but no gun. Although the initial search did not recover anything to link them directly to the murders, the police did have enough evidence to arrest the trio on drug possession charges. Detectives found it peculiar that the carpet had recently been cleaned and the bathroom was spotless, even though the rest of the house was filthy. I've seen pictures, and it looks like the house was messy, one, but also they believe that they had recently completely remodeled the bathroom. The bathroom was spotless. Like they may have taken tile out or replaced the sink or something. Like it was that clean.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's like when covering your tracks kind of burns you.
Yeah, exactly.
funny.
Just act natural.
Yeah.
Duh. Lots of duct tape and plastic bags were recovered around the house. They also found some papers with Selena's information on it, as well as old financial documents from Ivan and Annette Steinman. Soon after the raid, a man on a jet ski noticed a duffel bag that had washed up on the riverbank. He rowed over, unzipped it, and found a human torso inside. Later, a marina employee observed another duffel bag floating under a dock half-mile from the first bag. Upon opening this bag, she discovered a head.
I wonder if any of these people thought that there was like $1 million in there. Because why the fuck would you touch a duffel bag on the edge of a bank?
Like,
a stinky duffel bag.
Yeah. But it's, I think, curiosity or something. But I would think if you get close to it and it smells, just call the cops.
It was in the water and it's a dead body.
Yeah.
There's no way that smells good.
Ugh.
Ugh.
A marine biologist discovered a third duffel bag while collecting data on an island in the river. A total of 9 bags were pulled from the water after a dive team recovered the rest. The body parts were all mixed together throughout the bags. Police speculated that the remains had been commingled together in an attempt to make it harder to identify the victims. During interrogation, Taylor tried to insist that it was all him who pulled off the murders by himself in an attempt to free Justin and Dawn. It's like the only nice thing he's done this entire time. Soon a friend came forward to suggest that the police check a safe that Dawn had. Inside the safe, police found the wallets of all 5 victims, plus the guns used to murder Jennifer and Jim. All 3 were charged with murder, and Taylor attempted to sell the story to several different magazines for $400,000, but nobody took him up on the offer. The Steinman's daughter, Judy, said, "It sickens me to know that the last faces my parents saw were evil." Dawn's defense lawyers enlisted the help of a cult deprogrammer named David Sullivan to help her break from Taylor's spell. That sounds like a fucking interesting job.
Yeah.
A cult deprogrammer. If any of y'all out there are cult deprogrammers, just let me know. Give me some stories.
Yeah. Seriously. What's the daily, like what's a day-to-day?
A day in the life of a cult deprogrammer.
Exactly.
David attended Harmony Impact training to better understand the nuances of Dawn's challenges. She was able to connect with David better once he was speaking the Harmony training language. Dawn was shocked to learn that Taylor was not a prophet and devastated at the realization that she had committed a cold-blooded murder at Taylor's wishes.
Oh, he's not a prophet.
I know.
No way. Sorry, what do you say? Oops. Like, what do you say after that?
Oh, my bad.
My bad. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
She believed that she was doing something for the greater good, and she was very devastated and depressed after this.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah, she truly believed it.
I don't believe, maybe because I can't believe something like that.
I'm such a skeptic.
Skeptic, but like doing God's work, you think killing, like where does that come? It's not in any of those books. Like,
I know.
Fucking evidence or something, or just something to support. Give me more than just, you just got to do it, you know? Like, that
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I need to be a cult deprogrammer.
Yeah, fuck
because
yeah.
I really seriously don't understand how this shit happens. It just seems like so unfathomable to me.
I couldn't be a cult programmer because I'm like, are you fucking stupid?
That's true.
Quit
That's true.
playing.
I would try and
Quit
understand
playing.
it, and you'd be like, come on.
Come on. You lying. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Dawn was put on suicide watch after the depression set in from realizing that she had senselessly taken innocent lives. After deprogramming, she became willing to testify against Taylor and Justin.
Well, that's something good she can do
Yeah,
to
I'm glad
right
she
her
came
wrongs.
around. Yeah. Taylor pled guilty to all charges and was given 5 death sentences. He said, "I clearly see now that my actions were horrific. I was under the impression that I was doing a good thing." Still, Taylor never apologized for his actions or expressed remorse. His belief that he was a prophet also continued. Like, he seems to realize that it was bad, but not be sorry for it.
Yeah.
Don't the two go hand in hand? You would think. I don't know.
And then he goes, he converts to Islam in jail.
Right. Justin was given 3 death sentences for 3 of the murders and 2 life sentences for the other 2. Justin said, "I hope to see the day when our collective spiritual lives and love and joy and peace are the only eternal constants." See, none of these people make goddamn sense to me.
No, none of them.
Just crazy talk. Some hippie bullshit. Dawn avoided the death penalty by testifying against the brothers. She was given a 37-year sentence. In 2010, Justin attempted suicide by stabbing himself in the eye with pens and pencils. I really don't understand how he thought that would work.
The eye.
I know that that's, of course I'm sensitive to people that are depressed and suicidal.
Yeah.
It's a very real thing, but I just don't understand what he thought would happen.
Try the neck. You slit
Anywhere,
somebody's
like
throat.
really anywhere.
Yeah, like anywhere else.
There's so
but
many
the
other
eye.
places, but I don't know. Now I just feel weird talking about it. But it's just, that's the weirdest way that I've ever heard to try and kill yourself.
Nobody dies from a pencil in their eye.
Yes!
You just get a glass eye. That's
Right? So weird. The 41-year-old survived, but was blind after the incident. I don't know what else he thought was going to happen. That's exactly what happens when you do that. He was placed under intensified watch, but 2 years later, he was found hanging from his cell bar with a bedsheet during a security check. After the incident, Taylor was placed on suicide watch as well. Dawn and Taylor are still incarcerated and serving their sentences.
Moral of the story, don't be a fucking raver.
I mean, yeah, you have a good time and then people end up dying.
And then you
Just
get depressed.
innocent old people.
Yeah. The lack of
All that
serotonin.
E makes you depressed.
Depressed.
Yep.
You're probably not sleeping, so you're making crazy judgment calls.
Yes.
You know? You need money.
Mm-hmm. And your clothes are whack.
Whoa,
No,
whoa.
they're not.
Yeah.
Too far. Them Janko jeans, they were fire.
Exactly. Them tube tops, little glow sticks.
Everybody looked like Baby Spice.
Yeah. I could do without the candy.
But otherwise, I was kind of cool with it.
I'm down with the glow
Yeah.
sticks and the lights. The brothers went from one extreme to the other where it's like completely religious and everything it's just a 180.
But I think it shows kind of how religion can be twisted.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that they're fully opposites. I think that it's just kind of taking some core ideas and shifting it just so slightly that you can kind of mold it into whatever you think.
You had to fit your lifestyle and to fit your
Yeah.
way of thinking. And then you have this religion that's like your base, like your foundation, that you're like, okay, well, no, I'm religious and I do it for this and for spirituality, but you're really doing all these awful fucking things.
Yeah.
If you scared, go to church. Just kidding. Don't go to church.
Anyway, that's our case for tonight.
That was good. No cauldrons, but
I know, not cauldron good, but
still Mormon good.
yeah, it's pretty close.
It's crazy because I was laughing about the kids assassinating, political figures, but I wonder how many times that's actually happened.
Yeah.
Where people have been taken out by somebody that's so cute and all
And then
that.
bam.
Yeah. Remember that scene in Kill Bill where the girl, she gets them back for being a cute little hot thing. Little hot kids.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just seems far-fetched because that's just not, I don't know, it's just not plausible here. Like, you're going to import some underage kids.
That's plausible.
Train them to do this, even though you have no, real organization set up. I don't know. Just the whole thing is just very delusional to me. I don't know.
Drugs, man. Drugs will really make you think you can do anything.
Right?
Especially cocaine. If they're mixing cocaine and ecstasy, they probably feel
Yeah.
really good and really powerful.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, and this isn't like a hate on Mormons or religion in general. There's a lot of good people who are religious and do amazing things, but there's those people that fuck it up, like these people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that with the case that we covered last week, I mean, there's plenty of people that practice Palamayombe and it's not a problem. There's plenty of people that are Mormons and it's not something that's turned into evil. Like, that's not necessarily what happens. I mean, of course, 99.9% of people are not doing that. But when you have this belief system and then kind of add in these other elements of an unhealthy childhood, some empowerment training that fuels what you learned in your childhood, I mean, those are all just kind of setting you up for believing that you're the second coming, believing that you're so powerful. And it's the same thing that happened with Adolfo last week. His mom kind of set him up for that. And then the further he got along in life, it was just further reinforced.
Just gonna berate my kids all the time. No. You're number 2,
right?
Justin
Mom, there's no
involved.
number 1. I don't care. You're number 2 anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think that plenty of people are people of faith, that are people of spirituality, and it's a very positive force in their life. But there's plenty of people that believe in some crazy bullshit. And,
use it as fuel to do really awful things, like hate just on other people that they have no idea about. And then even further to have actions that, affect
that
people.
hurt someone.
Yeah, that hurt people and kill people. So
absolutely. But then again, neither of us are really religious experts.
Yeah, I like the religion one because you're taught to do good, and it's
right.
just so opposite.
And occult is just like the next door neighbor of religion,
Yeah.
It's just that one step further that's just like, let's use this belief system to do some bad shit.
What time is it?
It's time for reviews.
Woohoo! Makes me so happy. So excited.
The first one is from Courtney.
Wait, let me take my top off.
Can you see Kelly's tits, Courtney?
Just for you, Courtney.
Courtney says that Murder Dictionary is her all-time favorite podcast and that we have the same sense of humor as her.
Sweet.
Thanks, Courtney. We appreciate you. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The next one is from AG, who said that this is a well-rounded show, a good mix of facts and fuckery. I love it. We're all about the fuckery here. And the last one for today is from JBF, who says that Murder Dictionary gets them through their work days and said that we are hilarious, but also informative, and they look forward to new episodes. So thank you to Julie, it says at the bottom. Sorry, I could read further down. Thank you, Julie.
Thanks, Julie.
We appreciate you. That's awesome.
God, I love something that makes work better.
Right? We all
coffee?
use podcasts to get through our day.
Yeah.
Coffee and podcasts. Get your earbud on. And bud. The last one is from Jessie, who says that they absolutely love the podcast. Their summer months at work are very boring, and the podcast makes their job go by faster.
What?
Thank you so much. We
Yeah.
relate to that.
Totally.
Thank you so much, Jessie. We appreciate you. And I think that is going to be it for this week. If you haven't already left a review, you can go to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and we'll shout you out. We want to say thank you. So thank you again to the reviewers for today. And if you don't have iTunes, I'm getting a lot of people that are saying they don't use iTunes. So we
Stitcher.
also appreciate anything on Stitcher, or just shouting us out, telling your friends about us. We really appreciate just the word of mouth of people saying that they're listening and they love the show. And if you tell someone, that's super awesome too.
Yeah.
I just don't have anything to read to thank you.
Facebook, Instagram,
Right?
where you can tag us and stuff and all that.
And all the merch that we're sending out, if you tag us in that, because it should be arriving. And we've got a couple people that already have them and have tagged us. We appreciate that too. It's super awesome. We
Yeah.
love seeing those pictures of where you're putting your merch.
I'll show you where I put my merch next week.
Yeah, you will. Let me turn off this recording. If you haven't checked out our Patreon, the link is going to be in the show notes. And if you want some merch, you can support us on Patreon and we'll send you some things.
Yeah.
Definitely check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter and give us a follow over there. The links for those will be in the show notes, as well as links to my research for this week's episode and some links to resources for suicide hotlines, mental health support, child protective services, bullying support, and a few other things. If you need some support, definitely check out those links.
And I just wanted to say, You've been doing a wonderful job. You are the backbone, the everything of this podcast. You do the merch, you do the social media. I literally just sit here and look at you and am amazed how awesome and hardworking you are. And I know you already have a full-time job, and I know it's really hard for you. So I love you.
Don't cry, dude.
I'm going to cry.
I love you too, man. Full-blown tears. Are you serious? I love you too, man. Thank you for doing the podcast with me. I have a lot of fun, and I love that people have fun listening to everything that you contribute and the things that we make together. I'm so excited.
Why do you let me cry?
No. I'm sorry, dude.
I'm just saying you don't get enough credit, so...
I love you.
Love
I'm happy to do
you.
a podcast with you. I'm super excited about our merch, our social media. I'm super excited to just tell you stories every week and laugh and have fun.
So we need a bar of cauldron, and then we need a stick to hit me with every time I cry.
No,
it's only when I'm PMSing.
Oh no, I'm sorry. We'll just
good.
rearrange our recording around that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Box
That's
of
the new
tissues.
tactic.
Yeah, perfect.
I love you, dude.
Love you
Thank
too.
you. And then I think
you.
that's it for us.
Yeah, awesome.
Cool.
Next week?
We'll see you next week with another occult murder.
Woo!
Yeah, get our Satan on.
Yes. Satan.
I found a sick shirt that says the Satanic Army in the style of the Salvation Army.
Yes.
I want it so bad. I'm probably going to put it on our Insta because
Do it.
I need it. I
Yeah.
need that shirt in my life.
Got it.
All right. That's it. That's enough fuckery for us.
True crime and chill?
True crime and chill.
All right.
See you next week.
Bye.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's number 2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie, it's me, Jamie. This is your daily pep talk. I know it's been rough going ever since people found out about your a cappella group, Mad Harmony, but you will bounce back. I mean, you're the guy always helping people find coverage options with the Name Your Price tool. It should be you giving me the pep talk. Now get out there, hit that high note, and take Mad Harmony all the way to nationals this year! Sorry, it's pitchy.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
And now, a thought from Geico Motorcycle.
It took 15 minutes to take a spirit animal quiz online.
Please be the cheetah. Please be the cheetah.
And learn your animal isn't the cheetah, but the far less appealing blobfish.
Oh, come on.
To add insult to injury, you could have used those 15 blobfish minutes to switch your motorcycle insurance to Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance.